I'm Greg Jarrett, and you were in the strategy room. The U.S. Senate is dealing with a political minefield now over a bill that seeks to challenge President Obama's negotiations with Iran over their controversial nuclear program. Some Democrats are warning that a number of amendments being added to the legislation seriously risks losing key support for its passage. Here now with their take are political strategists Blakeman and Joe Lestingi. Gentlemen, welcome. Joe.
Thank you.
There is the Corker-Cardin bill in the U.S. Senate, which really seems to be the one that the White House will agree to and that a great many senators endorse. But then you've got 60 to 70 amendments to it. Does that really jeopardize this process?
It does. It very much does, in fact. This is going to be a delicate balance. The Senate wants the review powers to go through the plan, which has all been negotiated with the White House, who is leading on this. And when senators want to add these amendments, they're going to put the bill at risk of not passing at all, thus removing their ability to review this plan, which is going to be a problem. This isn't a treaty. So there are things that they want, and they're putting at risk by adding these amendments themselves. So it's very important that the Senate comes together on this, understands that this bill was negotiated in good faith with the White House, that it gets its clear passage. Anything that could derail this is going to cause real problems in the world for all of our allies, and those are things that we need to recognize. This is not about cheap political points. This is about the future of this world. I mean, this is a big negotiation, and to get this thing done is very important for our future, for our relationship in the region, and for all the countries involved.
Yeah. Brad, I wonder if what's really causing all of this angst and dissension, especially in the U.S. Senate, with so many of these amendments that arguably jeopardize it, is the fact that, there are really only a couple of people who know what's in this deal, President Obama and John Kerry. Doesn't there need to be more transparency here so that members of Congress and the American people know what it is that's being negotiated?
There's no doubt about it. You can't debate something on the floor of the Senate. You can't have open dialogue when even amongst the senators themselves if they don't know what's in it. And the fact of the matter is the president has brought this angst amongst themselves. And the reason being is the White House, the State Department, and others, and the president included, has kept the Congress in the dark. And then finally they come to the Congress because they know the deal is going south, and they try to save it at the last minute. Look, Iran is holding Americans hostage to date. Iran is being aggressive in moving its warships where we are, and also giving the appearance that they're going to be aggressive in using their ships to arm rebels. They're not acting in good faith, and the Congress has the absolute duty, constitutional duty, of oversight. And if you can't have proper oversight, you can't verify what the president is doing, and there you can't act. So the president's brought it upon himself. The 60-plus amendments are poison pills. There's no doubt about it. I agree with Joe. But the fact of the matter is, it takes two to tango, and the president isn't being above board with the Congress.
Well, especially, Joe, when it comes to things that some Republicans and Democrats in the Senate are saying this pact does not do. It doesn't go far enough. For example, it does nothing about including acts of terrorism on the part of Iran, or the release of Americans who are being held in Iran, or even Israel's right to exist, something that should be so fundamental. Is that part of what may be wrong with this proposed deal?
Well, no, I don't think. First off, we just had a debate over whether or not people knew what was actually in the deal.
Well,
so
we know
to say
what's
that
not
these
in
things
it,
aren't
those
in
three
there,
things I just named are not in it.
And it's because the focus of the deal is on the nuclear negotiations. If we went to someone who we haven't talked to in generations and said, oh, by the way, we want to work a deal to stop your nuclear program. Oh, but you have to agree to all these other things that aren't related to it, the deal's going to fall apart.
I don't
and
think
in the
that's
end,
uncommon.
That's
I
the
really
priority.
Don't.
Congress, the problem we have, and the problem Congress has, is that this isn't a negotiation for 102 people, the president, all senators, and John Kerry. The president gets to negotiate the deal. He is the head of state for our government. He operates in the foreign policy arena, and he is our representative. They can sign off on it, but Iran's not going to negotiate with 102 people. It's not going to happen. Neither are the other nations that are involved. They all send one representative. Congress is going to get a chance to review it. They've got a great bill in front of them. They need to stick with this, get this thing passed so that we can do this. This
Brad,
is really a
have the
landmark
final,
change.
I'll let you have the final word. Presidents negotiate foreign policy, it's true, but they don't act in a vacuum, especially when it comes to treaties or similar agreements with other nations.
When is a treaty not a treaty? When President Obama says it's not. When is a law not a law? Is when he picks up his pen and his phone and executes executive orders. Look, this is the pattern of this president. It's unacceptable. He disregards Congress when it's in his interest and then goes to them when he's in a panic. The Congress needs to exercise their oversight and as well as their constitutional duty of ratifying a treaty. This is a treaty. They must do their job.
All right. Joe Lestingi, Brad Blakeman, good to see you both.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thank you for watching.